Dom, he's smiling. He's confident. He's got such a great demeanor. I said it in the preseason. He's one of one. I wouldn't want any other quarterback in my team. I don't care where he ranks in your ranking.
Pop, what's going on, man?
What more can you say than wow. Wow, wow, wow.
We find a way. Heck of a football game. Unbelievable victory. Guys, if you're tuning in, I'm pretty sure at this point this is probably going to be the biggest story of the week NFL-wise. There's no way you don't know, but just in case you don't. Commanders 36, Eagles 33. Commanders turn the ball over 5 times in this game. Comes down to a Jayden Daniels to Jamison Crowder touchdown pass at the end with 6 seconds left on the clock. Incredible win. Unbelievable performance by the boys. Just a game where it felt like nothing could go right for the majority of the game. And all of a sudden, they just keep fighting back. Found a way to win. Jayden Daniels is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Pop,
Yeah.
where are you at?
I was just wild. I mean, I had resigned myself to the fact that we lost that game time after time. There was I didn't want to allow myself to feel it. There was a feeling, especially at that last drive, where I thought, this is going to happen. Especially number 5 always gives you a chance. Not the best of clock management situations, having to burn that time out on that field goal. But,
No.
And Jamison Crowder, just what a pro. What a pro. I mean, to wait for his chance after being down for so long and have a guy like that kind of in your back pocket, waiting in the wings, come in, when you got an injury. He's a good player, and OZ really stepped up. We'll get into all that, but unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Never quit. I mean, couldn't have been a worse start to the game. And really a terrible third quarter, too.
Yep.
But
yeah,
it's how you finish.
We had what? Yeah, it is how you finish. I mean, through most of the third quarter, I think we had 2 plays after that Diami Brown fumble. And it just felt like this thing, we said it early. We said we're going to have to get out early. We're going to have to put points up early. That didn't happen. That didn't matter. We said you're going to have to contain Saquon. Saquon had 100 yards before the end of the first quarter. Just everything that could have went wrong, it felt like went wrong from the beginning of the game. And just the resiliency and the fight, the lack of quit that this team has, the way to just stick through it. I mean, I remember it was 21-7, and I'm looking at the amount of time left in the game, and I'm like, there is a ton of time. Like, it's 21-7, like midway through the third quarter, or the first quarter, excuse me. I'm like, this is like, almost a brand new ball game. It's incredible. And one thing I kept in mind with Hurts going down on that second drive injured was, it's going to be a bit of a war of attrition. And we're going to be able to dig ourselves out of this hole a little bit easier now with Pickett. Obviously, Kenny Pickett is just super limited as a quarterback.
He played pretty well, though. He played pretty well. I mean, I'm not saying he's not Jalen Hurts, but he played pretty well. He made some plays, made some throws. I mean,
lot of third down penalties, a lot of penalty yards, extending drives.
Yep, that's true.
That kind of kept that ball moving for Philly. Yeah. Questionable calls, but at the end of the day, as I said in the Chicago game, the ball does not lie, and we ended up on top. So,
well, and they do some self-destruction too, right? With some of their 15-yard penalties there, which were completely unnecessary. So deserved, but unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, just completely just stupid and classless. And, you don't grow to expect much different from the Philadelphia Eagles. But That is what you got there. I mean, guys, knocking guys down after the play is over directly in front of the ref, and then the announcer's going, "I don't see where the foul is." Really? You don't see where the foul is? Like
Play's dead. You can't do
the
that.
play's dead. Somebody's already helping Jayden Daniels up, and you're knocking over our guard
in a crowd full of people too. Which is, it's not like but
right in front of the ref. So go ahead, do that. Get upset about that. Garner Johnson, God, I don't know what he said because Greg Olson did say it. I've never seen that before, where somebody says something to a guy and the other guy rips his helmet off, and then the guy who said it is the one who gets penalized. He must have said something insane, but again, brain dead enough to do it right in front of the referee, within earshot, where the ref can hear you. Go ahead, have it. I got a couple fans, a couple fellas that had did the pleasure of giving us some interaction last week. So, boys, thank you for the boost. The couple of Philadelphia
appreciate all the views
that tuned in, and the minor seventh and Curly Green, all you guys, go ahead, get yourself some eggnog. We were accused of having a little too much eggnog. You said you made us look like a college team. Well, we made your defense look like a college defense. You can talk all you want about Jalen Hurts. We hung 36 points on Vic Fangio. How about Quinyanamo Bay? How about the one time you leave him in single coverage? The one time you have the you-know-whats to leave that guy in single coverage against Terry. Terry makes him look like his nephew in a Turkey Bowl game. Please, hold that. Hold every single bit of that loss. I wish your franchise nothing.
I wonder if they'll be back for this post-game pod. You think they'll be back for this post-game pod?
They're getting links to it, that's for sure.
Check the comments on the pre-game pod if you're wondering what we're talking about here.
Yeah, come here, fellas. Bring it again. And you know what? Keep bringing it because you're just paying our rent. Thank you. Keep bringing the interactions. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. And you know what? Grow a couple and make your own podcast if you really got something to say about it. Anyways, keep it moving here. This has been a lot of fun. You guys can hold that loss for the whole rest of this week. And enjoy the rest of your season.
Pretty good chance we'll meet again. So it could be the first round game. So it'd be wild to.
We ain't fumbling the ball 5 times if we meet again. That's for certain. And I'm sure we'll recover a couple more of them. If
I mean, let's reel it back in a little bit, and we'll talk. This ton of fun. We'll talk. A little bit about how this whole thing went down. We're down 14-0. We're down 27-14. We're really self-destructing. And Saquon Barkley is running all over us, right? I mean, that touchdown run for their third touchdown was incredible. But also, I'm thinking to myself, how do we let that happen? How can we be that undisciplined to let him run that run? But then we lock it down. Like, you realize it, but the Eagles had nothing but field goals in the second half. No touchdowns.
Yeah.
So even though they put up 33, and you can't necessarily say the defense played great with them putting up 33, although we kept giving them the ball back and in some cases short fields, which didn't help.
No.
Second half defense was pretty damn good. Again, agree. Backup quarterback didn't help that Hurts wasn't there.
Of course not.
But I think the emotions, you just, when you watch this team play, and I guess this is probably true of every NFL fan. I watched the Insider, watched the Ravens, although they had a pretty easy day yesterday. But, you just feel every emotion. I told my wife, I'm happy there's only 17 of these. Well, hopefully there'll be 1 or 2 more than 17 this year. But
definitely,
the emotions it's a little tough on the old ticker there.
Yeah. I mean, and just something I want to highlight, man, is like Jayden Daniels just does not flinch. You talk about it. You saw it in
incredible.
You saw it in week 3 against Cincinnati for the first time, where he's screaming at Dan Quinn to leave the offense on the field. We're going to go and we're going to ice this game on that 4th down, and he does it. And then you see it again against Chicago, of course, with that Hail Mary, unbelievable play. And then you see it again against Dallas, and that obviously gets bungled by the kicker. But you see it again today, and the mantra I just kept repeating in the 4th quarter, where we had that ball with 2 minutes left, or a minute 58 probably total, and a timeout. I just kept saying, do what we do. Do what we do. Do what we do. do what we do. And you just see it. Quick hitch to Ertz, quick ball to Terry. Running, he ran the ball. He made some great plays with his legs on that last drive. Great call to Robinson to run the ball. They did a great job. Cliff, who I don't think called an amazing game to start the game at least, but I mean, God bless him. The guy is so limited with the weaponry on the offense. And how can you even determine whether or not he's called a good game when you fumble the ball as much as we were fumbling the ball?
Yeah.
And again, so limited with the weapons he's working with offensively. But that drive by Cliff was amazing because what he did was he kept Jayden out of third down situations on that last drive. He kept Jayden out of fourth down situations. He kept them ahead of the sticks the whole way, so you were never pressing. You were in control. And those short passes keep too much time for running off the clock in between plays. You're able to get to the line in 7, 8, 9 seconds, which generally is not as much time. And you get in a situation where you call that timeout with 10 seconds left and you've got 2 shots at it. Now, Jayden Daniels don't need 2 shots at it. Jayden Daniels takes that first shot and you be damn sure he's not going to miss. But you had to, just in case some BS happened. And
well, I think Cliff, like you said, it's hard when you turn the ball over, but yeah, I think he made a lot of great adjustments from that first game. You saw some different things. I thought short passing was key. I thought that before the game. I thought that run that Jayden Daniels had up the middle, they clearly saw something on tape in terms of how the Eagles were defending them, and he was able to do that quarterback draw and just have, all kinds of yardage in front of him. And then, you can't take away the fact that Jayden just makes some plays that aren't there. The play of the game has to be that 4th and 11 run. Yeah. It has to be the play of the game. I mean, it's a 29-yard run. He's dodging guys. People that said that he didn't have wiggle and he was more of a straight line runner got that wrong.
Yeah.
And, that play had, like I said, it's play of the game. That was, the second to last touchdown drive. Got it to 27-21, kept that drive alive. A couple of picks. I think the second one, especially, the first one he just sailed. The second one, I think, was more him trying to do too much. Just trying to make a play, not wanting to give them the ball back, and just whenever you throw the ball across your body, unless a guy's running wide open. But we had some receivers running open too, so
yep.
Cliff schemed them up pretty well. And I don't. There's got to be an NFL record for putting up 36 points after 5 turnovers, and winning a game. I can't have been done too many times. So
yeah,
the resilience of the team. And somebody asked Dan Quinn in the presser about how Jayden bounces back. Doesn't matter if he throws a pick. He comes out the very next time. He's smiling. He's confident. He's got such a great demeanor. I said it in the preseason. He's one of one. I wouldn't want any other quarterback on my team. I don't care where he ranks in your ranking. I'm not ranking him. Maybe that's an off-season discussion. I wouldn't rather have any other quarterback with his age, where he's at as a rookie player. There's some other great players, Josh Allen, Lamar, of course, Pat, Joe Burrow's playing his ass off. But I want my guy. My guy is my guy, and he's amazing. And the receivers came through. Receivers played pretty well today. I mean, as a collective, they played pretty well.
And something I saw on Twitter, I wish I could give credit to the guy who tweeted it, but Olamide Zaccheaus was cut by the Philadelphia Eagles. They chose not to bring him back. He goes off today, 2 touchdowns, 5 catches for 70, 80 yards. And Jahan Dotson, who the Eagles traded for with that 3rd-round pick, did that today.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't. You know what? That's the first time.
You forgot he was even on that team.
That's the first time I've thought about Jahan Dotson. With you just saying it. First time. Yeah.
Obviously, nothing personal against him, but we.
Adam Peters don't miss.
It's pretty cool. Adam Peters don't miss. Definitely some great plays there. Just a fantastic game. You just can't. You can sit here and you can dissect it from any which way you want. But the bottom line is this team finds a way. This team shows up when it matters, and we have won 10 games, 10-5. This is our best start to a season since 1991. And I know this team is not that team. Let's be very clear about that.
Just shows how bad we've been.
In 1 year, that turnaround. In 1 year, I mean, RG3, it came down to that last game of the season to squeeze into the playoffs, right? This is now, we are 10-5. We could mess around and go 12-5. In Jayden Daniels' first year, there is nothing that this team can't do with number 5 at quarterback. I don't care about the defense. I don't care about Brian Robinson putting the ball on the turf 4 times. There's a dialogue to be had with that at another time. I don't care about, anything that happened today. When you've got number 5 at quarterback, and this is what drives Eagles fans nuts. This is why they start every other narrative. This is why they're wriggling around in their seats right now, because you got to face that guy twice a year for the next 10 years. Enjoy that. Enjoy that.
Well, they've got a pretty special player on their end, Saquon Barkley. I mean,
Saquon Barkley is the best player in football right now.
150 yards on 29 carries, 2 touchdowns, just incredible. I mean,
I got
he did a lot of it early. I'm going to say that. He did a lot of it early. It definitely hurts him not having Hurts in there for sure, because
100%.
Hurts does make some really good plays with his legs. That Pickett just isn't able to make. So for sure that helped. But hey, you can only play what's in front of you. And when Jayden got hurt and he was banged up for 3 weeks in a row, we didn't get any sympathy from anyone about that. So if you want to use that as an excuse, that's kind of loser talk. Go ahead, Eagles fans. I'd love to hear that.
Bottom line is Jayden was pretty effing hurt that week that y'all made us look like a college team where we had the lead through 3 quarters, by the way. Jayden was really hurt that week to the point where some people were saying maybe he's so hurt it's better to put Mariota in and have a fully healthy quarterback. So, whatever. That's how I feel about that. Whatever. Nothing but good things to say about Saquon and Jalen Hurts, frankly. They're both great players. A.J. Brown is one of the best wide receivers in football, probably one of the most underrated, even though people put him in the top 5. I think he should be in the discussion for the best receiver in the league every year. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he got every single call today, and I think about half of those were junk, honestly, but whatever. In my opinion, when you've got 2 guys with their arms on each other, you don't.
Oh yeah, that two of those PIs were. If you watch it again on replay, they're not PIs. They caught Lattimore, kind of just pushing back because he was getting pushed off. Yeah. 2 of those PIs were junk. Third one was real. Yeah, but that's the NFL. It's just the way it's going to go. And he had great coverage. Sometimes it's hard being a corner in this league.
It is.
The concerning thing is him going down with that injury again.
Yes, because as soon as he goes, he makes that huge. There you go, Pop. Huge. He makes that huge tackle on 3rd down on A.J. Brown, by the way, in the open field, and they go right back to A.J. Brown because he's out of the game, and then Benjamin St-Juste is in. So I loved what I saw out of Lat today. I know he didn't get his way on a few calls, and that's unfortunate, but not the end of the world for me. I just hope he's healthy and we can get him back.
It's not a good sign that hamstring went again. We might have seen the last of him, or maybe we try to rest him up for the playoffs, but it's a shame. He's obviously a great player, but he might be more of a next year thing.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we've made it this far without him for the most part, right? So
makes a big
he does
on that field.
It does, but
because he
can't
made
see him being out there next week.
For all the penalties, he made a few really great plays as well. So they made a point of going at him all game. So you're not going to have that much luck doing that with a lot of other guys other than A.J. Brown. And even A.J. Brown was about a 50% success rate in that situation, refs notwithstanding. But the only thing I care about numbers-wise, Pop, at the end of it?
10-5.
10-5 and 1. 1 win today. That's all I care about. It's a win. Yeah. That's the only number at the end of any of this that matters. It's a win. So if y'all want to talk about A.J. Brown on Lattimore, Have a blast, Eagles fans. I know you got to do something to entertain yourselves and distract yourselves from the loss this week. Enjoy it. Man, I mean,
I tell you, for me, Cowboys just run deep, right? Because it's just the Cowboys, right? It's just years and years and years. But they're kind of hurting. They're kind of wounded now. Their fans are kind of downtrodden. Their fans, Giants, you hate because they're the Giants, but the Eagles, the way their players chirp, the way the fans chirp, the entitlement that they seem to have related to their team, who really hasn't done anything. I mean, they won a Super Bowl a few years ago, but this particular team hasn't done anything. So I know they went to the Super Bowl not long ago, but maybe I'm going to get called out again by Eagles fans for that statement. But it feels good.
Mickey Mouse
I don't
Super
think
Bowl.
I'd have to say this year. I'll just qualify it as this year. I don't think there's another team in the league I'd rather beat than the Eagles.
Nope, me neither. Feels real good. Real good. Let's get on to the awards, man. Let's get on to the awards. We got some special historic implications for the awards today, so I say we get on to it.
Yes.
So, Sauce Award, as good as it gets, man. Jayden Daniels. 5 touchdowns, did have 2 interceptions, but 24 for 39, 258 yards passing, 9 rushes for 81 yards. That is your Sauce Award. That is your MVP of the game, Jayden Daniels. And when it counted, he did not throw an incompletion on that last drive, I don't think. Maybe one. But
yeah, he leads us back, right? And even after throwing that pick, he just keeps leading us back. He's incredible. And there were certain points of the game where I shouldn't have felt like this, but I did. I was like, well, we're going to lose. Just keep Jayden healthy.
Yeah.
And obviously, I undersold what he can do in terms of bringing us back. Incredible.
Yeah, it's he reminds me of Steph Curry, man. He really does. Like what Steph Curry did for the Warriors, that is what I see in Jayden Daniels for this team. I think he is a talent, just the raw talent on the kid that you've never seen before, and then the poise, the composure, the competitive edge, the willingness to just keep shooting, and the smile and the joy that he has in playing the football game. There is nothing. It's just like you were up. You could be up when Steph was in his prime. You could be up 25 points on the Warriors going into the half, and you knew it wasn't enough. That's how I feel about Jayden Daniels for this team. The
smile. The smile is very reminiscent. I know it was before your time of Magic Johnson.
Yeah,
Commander's owner, but Magic was always smiling. Didn't matter the situation, the pressure. He was always out there having fun, and reminds me a lot of JD. And yeah, think about it. If you think of circumstance, right? Leading us back from 13 points down, 2 touchdown drives, incredible, right? And then you throw a pick, right? They get a field goal to take the lead. You throw a pick in bad situation. Great job by the defense holding them to a field goal. And then you drive the team down, 9 plays, 57 yards, and a minute 52. Like you said, having 2 shots at the end zone, only really needing to take 1 with Jamison Crowder. And then getting that 2-point conversion was big too. And that's not on Jayden, but he's amazing.
Yeah.
Was that
huge?
Do we still want to have the Bo Nix debate, or are we good as a nation agreeing that
I want to say something. There's a lot of Commanders fans. No. I want to say something that it's not going to be what you think. It's not going to be what you think. A lot of Commanders fans' response to that would be screw Bo Nix.
Nah.
And Bo Nix, I like you. I think you're a good player. Good for you. I think you've got a great coach over there in Sean Payton. I think you've got a great shot at being a real NFL quarterback for years to come. Good for you. Best of luck. Screw any idiot who has anything to say about him being in the same world as Jayden Daniels. The only thing Bo Nix and Jayden Daniels have in common is they breathe oxygen. That's the only thing those two quarterbacks
Anyone that
have
has a debate, look, if Bo Nix was our quarterback, and I want to get off this quick, but if Bo Nix was our quarterback, we'd be sicing him too. Just like you said.
Yep.
If he was the best we had, we'd be sicing him if we were in Denver's position later in the draft, and that's the guy who we picked, we'd be slicing him. But if you ever watch the two guys play, which I've done multiple times, and I agree, I'm biased, But anyway, love Jayden. That's the main point there. We'll get a chance to see another rookie quarterback next week, which we can get into in a bit. But let's go through these helmet stickers because there's a lot of them to give out.
Speaking of as good as it gets and guys that get disrespectfully compared to other wide receivers in the NFL and in NFL history, Terry McLaurin. Terry, insert expletive McLaurin. 5 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown. Those 60 yards make it his 5th season in a row with 1,000 or more receiving yards, which ties a franchise record, I think. Right, Pop?
Yeah,
ties a franchise record.
Breaks a record.
Breaks a franchise record.
First player in franchise history to do that. 5 straight years.
There you go. So first player in franchise history to do that for 5 years straight with 1,000 yards. And, injuries notwithstanding, I'm sure you believe there might be a couple more tacked onto that with this whole new quarterback situation going on here in DC. And a touchdown, which also ties the franchise record for touchdowns in a single season with 12. So Terry surely will break that record over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully they find a way to get him one. Feels like they don't even have to find a way to get him one. He's just getting one. Leading receiver today, though, we shouted him out a bit earlier, Olamide Zaccheaus, revenge game, 5 catches for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Eagles. So they called his name. He delivered. He made a few really great plays, got him involved early, loved it. Nothing but good things to say about OZ. That yak that
was great.
That was so good catch. On that second touchdown. That was so good. And I just said, man, see what happens when you get Jayden some playmakers, some guys with a little bit of wiggle in open space. Noah Brown's not really that guy. Olamide Zaccheaus obviously has got a little bit of that wiggle, but you hope in the offseason get Jayden some more of that wiggle. And it's dangerous, man. But Zaccheaus showed up, delivered today. I'd like to bring him back. I know he's on a 1-year deal. I think he's an underrated part of this Commanders offense and what makes the team tick. Speaking of that, man, straight off the practice squad, Jamison Crowder, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. How about that? Brought him right back off the injured reserve, on the practice squad, right back off the injured reserve. Did a great job in the punt.
Love him.
As well.
Number 80. Just a pro. He's a pro. And him back there returning kicks, even though he kind of bobbled one a little bit. Punts, he gives you a lot more comfort, in that role as well.
Yeah.
Love Jameson.
Yep. Nothing but good things to say about him. Frankie Louvu, speaking of which, 7 tackles, 2 tackles for losses, and an interception. And that interception was sweet because the way the route combo was set up, it was a flat and a slant. And Pickett is supposed to read what Louvu does. Does he drop to that flat or does he sit back and cover the slant? And then the ball goes wherever. And he took the exact number of steps required to show the flat before he worked his way back over to the slant. So just long enough for Pickett to bite and then broke inside. And that's a film study play. That is a high IQ football play, and that is just a fantastic play by Louvu there. And just what a great play. And that ended up being a big momentum swing there. Getting that interception early helped us kind of stay in the game. And kind of, in my opinion, I think that gave the team a little bit of hope of hey, guys, we're playing their backup quarterback. Relax, settle in a little bit. We got a chance. Let's get it done. And we certainly got it done after that.
No question.
And then last but not least on the awards, Cleveland Farrell, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 2 quarterback hits, had a big sack there at a moment that you really, really needed it.
He seemed disruptive today,
Yeah.
And it's kind of like we've got those defensive end by committee, Farrell, Armstrong, Fowler, who had another sack today. I think he's at 9.5 for the year.
Yeah.
But Cleveland was disruptive today. He had that one where he slapped the ball out of Pickett's hands, and they were fortunate enough to get that fumble. So falling off fumbles was not our forte today. Recovering our own fumbles. But
no, I mean I said it. I said it yesterday. You know, I won't name the team, but there was a game that's happened where there were 4 fumbles, and every single one was recovered by one of the teams, and 3 of them was the team fumbling themselves. And we today fumbled the ball 3 times, and we didn't recover a single one of them. So it's crazy. JP Finley always says it. It is a oblong shaped ball that bounces a million different ways. And I think if you look back to the time that we beat the Eagles a couple years ago, we got every bounce. And today, I feel like we did not get many. And we still managed to pull it out.
Still pulled it out, that's pretty. If you think about that statement, it's pretty incredible, right?
Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to Luke McCaffrey as well, who I think did a great job on the kick return team.
He's playing obviously really job
with Eckler out. I know Eckler had the one early in the year that he housed that got called back, but I think kickoff to kickoff, I think Luke has been better than Eckler was on that kickoff return. I think he's been
Eckler's pretty good, but we haven't missed a beat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Fair. No disrespect to Eckler intended. But Luke has been very, very good, and overall, man, it's been good to see him back there. I know he doesn't get to touch the ball as much, but you can see, I think that gives the team a real jolt when you're starting at the 40 or the 35 as opposed to the 20. You know, I think he's been really, really good. So I just wanted to give him a little shout out there. I know we haven't seen as much of him in the past game as you'd hope, but doing it. And that's the McCaffrey way, man. They get it done no matter what. So very cool there, in my opinion. And
it'd be good to get the ball in his hands a little bit more, but you can't complain about the production we got out of the other receivers as we've covered.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'd love to see Luke get looked at a little bit more in the screen game. I think that would be if you've got him on kickoff return, you clearly believe in his speed and his wiggle. Why not give him a shot at a few of those, like those tunnel screens that they throw to Diami? Why not let Luke get a couple? Yeah. But kickouts of the game has got to be the 5 turnovers. I think the next thing down for me would be the pass interference calls on Lattimore, and the Lattimore injury would probably be the third one. But yeah, the 5 turnovers is it's. I mean, I don't know. The Lions won like that earlier in the year where Jared Goff threw 5 picks, but it is true. You're not winning a lot of football games with 5 turnovers. It's pretty bizarre. I wonder if this is the first time in NFL history that it's happened twice in the same season. Somebody smarter than me look it up, or with more time. But just absolutely bizarre, the turnovers, and just there's a Brian Robinson dialogue to be had at another time. I'm not happy with what I saw from B-Rob today, especially not after the talking that he was doing over the week. I was very disappointed.
I feel like our line was not great. No. I feel like, when the line goes up against an elite defensive line, we've seen them go up against 2 really good lines the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's a drop off. That offensive line is middle of the road. Talent wise, they get a lot out of the talent that they have, but they weren't great today, especially in the run game.
Yeah, I mean, Cosme missed some practice time with illness, and Biadish missed last week with illness, and that illness certainly seems to be working its way around the locker room. And without saying too much more, certain illnesses can linger for longer than others, and I think these guys might not be fully have their wind or their health at this point right now.
Yeah.
And I think you saw it today. And that Eagles defensive front, their front 7 is just stupid. That Eagles defense is phenomenal. They are really, really good. So I think some of it was just players making plays. I mean, Carter seemed to just have his way with our offensive line. But Brian Robinson putting the ball on the ground once in the red zone, by the way. Once in the red zone, which is unacceptable. You cannot put the ball on the ground in the red zone. Only place worse than putting the ball on the ground in the red zone is in your own 20. But I think the red zone, and I don't know.
It's a conversation we could save for pregame pod. You can't go from absolutely loving the guy, calling him one of the best running backs in the league a few weeks ago to, it was a rough day. He had a bad day. He's not a fumbler typically.
No.
I feel like he didn't have a lot to run. He's never been, I'd say, a dynamic runner. He's a power runner. He's always been that, but just had a bad day. Let's not make it any more than that, in my opinion. Anyway.
Yeah, we can all decompress and kind of make more of it later on in the week. But man, when you do the math and you look at the 339 total yards from Jayden Daniels, that really is just jaw dropping, huh? That's fantastic. But Pop, if you've got anything else, man,
I was just gonna do a quick playoff status.
Do it. That's a great idea.
So I mean, obviously, that's big. The win, I think.
Huge.
Our probability is probably way up there. Atlanta gets the win today against the Giants. I didn't really get to see how Penix played early on. I don't think it was anything special, but the Giants are just terrible. So that game next week against Atlanta is still big because if they went out, we would have to beat the Cowboys, to get in. So that could push us. Now that's what makes this week's win so big. But Atlanta sits as Green. Let me slow down a little bit. Obviously, Detroit, Philly, the Rams. The Rams end up squeaking out a victory today.
I do not know.
They're 9-6. Feels like they were 8-6, so they must have won.
Yeah, 19-9. They got comfortable. Just a slow start.
Yeah, Bucks are 8-6. I think they're playing now. Vikings are in the 5th seed, and they're playing right now against Seattle. So that's got implications. That seems to be a barn burner. I think they're tied at 17 each right now. So it's we'll see the results of that. Then there's Green Bay, who plays tomorrow night, Monday night.
New Orleans, yeah.
New Orleans has been playing tough. If we could get New Orleans to beat Green Bay, then we might sneak into that 6th seed. We're the 7th seed. Seattle behind us at 8-6. I already mentioned they're in a burner with Minnesota. Atlanta gets that win against the Giants. It's probably as far as we need to go. I think everyone else is eliminated. Arizona was eliminated with their loss today. So that game against Atlanta, like I said, next week we can clinch with a win there. If we don't get that win, it goes to the final game against the Cowboys. That's basically what it comes down to. Although Carolina's been playing a lot better, and that's Atlanta's last game. There's no longer an absolute gimme there. But that's basically it. Maybe I'm running out of gas. That wasn't the smoothest delivery there. I apologize for that. But
you're good, Pop.
Basically, we're the 7. We got a shot at getting at the 6 if we could catch Green Bay, but we got to keep winning. Still a little dicey with Atlanta, but the win today really helps. We get 1 out of these last 2. Bottom line, 11 wins. We're sailing into the playoffs. If we stick at 10, we need a little help.
Yep. Go win on Sunday night.
Absolutely. That's going to be a fun one.
Go win on Sunday night, and I got no doubt in my mind that Jayden Daniels gives us the absolute best chance out of anybody in this world to go do that. So I can't wait, man. I'm counting down the minutes. I'm ready to skip over Christmas and everything. Just get to Sunday, right? I can wait.
It's the start of vacation. I don't want to blow through a week. I can wait. I'm gonna absorb all the post-game stuff about this one. Enjoy a nice dinner tonight. We can wait. I can't. My ticker can't take another game right now.
No. Hopefully the ticker don't have to be working this hard next Sunday. But let's wrap this thing up, man. This has been great. It's been a lot of fun, guys. What a win! Let's wrap this thing up.
Can I say one more thing real quick? We had an awesome week of views, subscriptions. It's really been taken off. We really do appreciate it. I don't care if you're a fan of the other team. I don't care if you want to take shots at us. We got thick skin. We're from an Italian family. We bust each other's chops all the time. So
nothing you
can say is gonna hurt us. We appreciate the positive comments too from the Commanders fans. So appreciate you all. Appreciate all the views, all the subscriptions. It's exciting Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already.
Y'all don't know who you're playing with when it comes to Buster Polina. You got the wrong podcast. We will take
it's just water off our back.
This is nothing. But
that's it.
Hey, one last thing to wrap this thing up. Jayden Daniels' 4 passing touchdowns in the final 30 seconds of any fourth quarter / overtime is the most by any player in a single season since the merger. He is a rookie quarterback. NFL, take notes. Start watching your film now. This kid's coming. The Commanders are coming. Without further ado, let's wrap this thing up. I've been Dom.
This is Pop.
Thank you for another great week, everybody, and hail to the Commanders.
Hail.